Hey guys, in the last video we have learned positional argument, and today's videos we are going to learn a default argument. What is a default argument? Is nothing but the a default value for a certain parameters. Like the default value we define for a certain parameters call when we call a functions, we can say. Second thing is like the default use is when the argument is the omitted. When we call a function, that time we provide the argument. When the if the argument is omitted, we can use the default value which we have defined for the specific parameter. Because of the default value, your functions are more flexible, reduce the numbers of argument. Okay, so let's see one of the example with the default argument uh, using a function. Consider we have a function like definitions functions ctc package. In a ctc package mainly have two components like in hand salary, and second component is variable pay. Okay, variable pay that we follow, and we are going to return what is the ctc is nothing but the in hand salary. See one second. In hand salary plus variable pay. So we are returning the values. So we need to call the functions. How we are going to call the functions? We write function name and we provide the argument. First argument, consider if you have a 25 LPA in hand salary, and second parameter is you have a variable pay of 3 lakh every year. Okay, variable pay of 3 lakh every year. Okay, now we will let's run this program, print this value, what we are getting exactly after returning. Okay. So we are getting the 28 lakhs as a. Now consider if we have passed only one argument to the functions, and we are defining the default value as a 3 lakh to the parameters. So if we are not, it's like a default value for a certain parameters, default value for the certain parameters that we are passing. So default value, this is the default value 3 lakhs for the variable pay. So let's execute this program and see the output. See, we are getting the 28,000. Consider if you pass default value, if you pass the argument and a default value also present in the parameters. Consider if you pass the default value as a 4 lakh. Let's run the program. So we are getting the 29 lakh. So that mean if we are passing argument to the parameters and the parameters have a default value, it will override the argument value over the default value. So we are getting the 29 lpa as 29 lakhs in a result. So let's consider the second example also. Let's import the timer. We are going to use the countdown. Let's import time. Okay, we are importing the time, and Like we are creating the functions for count from the starting. Def count will start, count will have a start value, count will have end value. Okay, and that count, for the count we are using the for loop. For x in you are using the range function, range from start to end, and inside the range we are printing x counter. That is, we are printing the x counter. And what we are doing after the printing the x counter, we are that time into a sleep mode, so we are taking a break of a 1 second after printing that counter. After printing the x variable nothing but the counter. And coming out of loop after coming out of loop, I'm printing like execution is done, like printing done. Okay, now let's call this function. Like we have count function. Count have a two parameter. Start, let's start from the 1 and till the 10. So we are giving the value as a second counter as a, we are giving the range from the end plus 1, because the second when we use the range function, the second parameter is a exclusive, so we need to add 1 to end parameter. So we are starting from a 1 going 3 till end. Let's see, let's run the, see, after 1 second every parameter is a printing, like the counter is a printing 7, 8, 9, 10. See, 10 and done, because we are taking exclusive parameter 10 plus 1 as a 11, so it will give range to till 10. Now consider, if I pass only end parameter as a 10 and make start time as a 0 default. Okay, now let's run the program.